Welcome back to another episode of Peak Performers Podcast. I'm your host, Thor Conklin. Thank you for tuning in today. Today, we are going to discuss Execution Killer number 15. This should be Execution Killer number 1 once you hear it, but it actually is number 15. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. If you've been following these podcasts for a while, you know that I've identified 85 things that get in the way of your execution. And listen, it all comes down to execution. If you can't execute, it doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter anything. You've got to be able to execute in order to get results. The odds are already stacked up against you. You're doing everything right, and then all you need is one of these execution killers to get in the way and destroy and disrupt everything that you've built. And you can have every single thing right, but you're missing one piece, and guess what? You don't get the results. Baking a cake, right? Go ahead, leave something out. Leave one of the ingredients out. What happens? It doesn't turn out right. You've got to make sure you have all of them. Execution killer. What if you have the heat too high, the heat too low? What if something else got into the batter, right? What if you poured some Tabasco sauce in there? That's going to destroy the recipe. That's what these execution killers do. Well, the execution killer number 15 is none other than failure to track, measure, and adjust. Boy, this is a big one. I see this happening all the time with clients. They've got these beautiful systems. They've got great employees. They've got the most beautiful offices. But guess what? They're not tracking and they're not measuring. It's almost like it's become this new age culture of, let's just all kind of get along and this is a great place to work and we love the culture and, we don't want to be mean and hold people accountable. You see it all the time. You've got to track. You've got to tell your people, your teams, what you expect from them. Everyone needs to be on the same page. There needs to be milestones. It needs to be checked all the time, weekly, daily, monthly. Tell people what you expect, track, measure, and adjust. If it's not working, make the adjustments. If you don't have the right team in place or the people that are doing the work, they need more training, train them. If after training they don't want to do the work or they can't do the work, move them to another position. Or if you need to move them out of the company, do that. I know it doesn't sound great, right? Nobody wants to fire anybody. But look, if you're not getting the results that you need, you have to. You've got to make adjustments. So, tracking and measuring. So, what do you track and you measure? Everything. Everything. Look, let's take your favorite sports team, right? Let's say NFL football. So, your favorite team is playing the number 1 team in the conference Sunday afternoon. They go out on the field, whistle blows, and they start playing. And they're running up and down the field. They're hitting each other. Their balls are flying everywhere. Everything's going on. But guess what? They don't have a scoreboard plugged in. They don't have the timer plugged in. And all they're doing is just running around the field. It looks like a couple times they scored, but nobody really knows what the score is because no one's keeping the score. That would be ridiculous. No one would be tuning in to football if they didn't keep the score, or any sport for that matter. The reason we have a scoreboard is we want to know who's winning, who's losing. What is the score? You need to track. You need to measure. You need to post it. So why is your business any different? I'll tell you, poor leadership, period. It's leaders that want to be liked. They're leaders that want to have a culture of where we all get together, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya, and we're a family. I get that culture. I understand that. But guess what? Sometimes the results from those organizations are horrible. Horrible. Because nobody wants to make the tough decisions. Okay? Tracking and measuring, It's not being difficult on people. It's holding them to a standard, a high standard. And trust me, if you're not holding your people, your organization, or yourself to a high standard, and you're not tracking and you're not measuring, I guarantee you're leaving dollars on the table. You are not serving your clients to the highest level. You are not doing what you need to be doing as the leader of that organization. So, question of the day. Coming down in it pretty hard because I see it all the time. Where in your organization are you not tracking and measuring? Where do you need to start tracking and measuring? And adjusting, right? Because part of the reason for measuring is you want to figure out what's working, what's not working, and make those adjustments so you can fine-tune it. So where in your business aren't you doing this? Where do you need to be doing it? Figure that out, put it on your schedule, implement it, tell your team, and start tracking, start measuring, start adjusting, start pivoting. And then a month from now, a year from now, see your results as a result of tracking and measuring. I promise you, you'll be very happy you did. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.